What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Dukes of Gaming podcast. This is your host, the Duke of Procrastination, Thomas, and I hope everybody's having a wonderful week. First and foremost, I have the Duke of Rocket League. What's going on, Cole? How are you doing this week, man?
I'm doing good. Just got back from a little mini vacation, buckling down. We have baby number 3 on the way, due in 30 days. So
Ooh,
just hanging out.
all
Good to
right.
go.
All right, good.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And last and certainly not least, we have the Duke of Education. What's going on, Alfredo? How are you and your students?
They are doing great. I just transferred over to this Dodgeball Academy, and, I am just having a blast, but we'll get into that. I'll let you know what my students are doing and, how I may or may not be, creaming them in these Dodgeball tournaments.
Well, we're going to get to that sooner rather than later for sure, because I have thoughts on it as well. Just first and foremost, we do have Ben's book club out for Days Gone. Keep that on YouTube, keep that on podcast streaming. You know, it's a great conversation. We really like picture a frog in science class, being dissected. You're really like figuring out everything inside this frog. That's what we did to Days Gone. So if you want that for video games, peep Ben's book club. There's special occasions. We don't do it. It's not something we release we release every once in a while. So really just people when we release it, it's great content. Let's get into what we've been playing. I've been playing, and I think you've been playing too, Alfredo, Dodgeball Academia.
Oh, yeah.
I like this game. How do you feel about this game?
I love this game,
You
and
loved
the
it.
reason
Okay.
why.
Okay.
Yeah, I love this game. And the reason why is not only because obviously I am the Duke of Education, so I love anything involving, a school setting. But because this game specifically reminds me of those early 2000 Cartoon Network adventure
Glad you
games.
said that, yeah. It's like a little those
where
flash games on the website.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, specifically where I remember the vacation. It was like not even a trilogy. It was like a 5-parter. Cartoon Network had a series of flash games, which was an adventure game, which was not. It wasn't a point and click, but basically it was a straight up adventure game where each episode you would star as a different Cartoon Network character. So like one episode you would be Courage, one episode you would be Johnny Bravo. So, and these games are basically like little puzzle-ish games where you just get to really interact with the world around you. So you would be, trying to get a can, figuring out how to try to get a can of soda so that you could give it to, this other character so that you would ultimately be able to get the surfboard. You were like really trying to figure out things, and you would be able to interact with all of those 90s. You had the 90s themes, you had the just the great Saturday morning cartoon kind of energy there. You had all of that, and this game really ramps that up to like 11. It reminds me of those because like it has that same Saturday morning cartoon feeling, but polished to a triple A level, maybe a double A level, but like
Very
the
good level.
actual
Very good level.
yeah, the actual art style is amazing. Like it's like the Adventures of Gumball. If anybody has ever seen that, it's like it looks exactly
Yeah, it
like
does
that
look like that,
show
yeah.
or very similar, and it's just a really really cool art style. And basically, this game is an adventure game, but at its heart is it's a dodgeball game with RPG mechanics. So this game does a lot. So it's a dodgeball game with RPG mechanics in the style of Pokemon, kind of. So you have like your different dodgeball players that you get throughout the story, and they all have their HP, they all have their super power ups. But basically, the game is you're playing dodgeball and you're trying to catch the ball, get other people out. But this game is amazing because the story is good. Like it's funny. I love all of the crazy zany characters. The storyline that goes through each of the episodes is kind of like an episodic game, but you get all of it at once. It's 8 episodes total, and each episode is kind of like a mini story in and of itself. But basically, you're trying to be the best dodgeball player in the school. But they have some pretty cool. Like I'm not finished through the story at all, but they have some pretty cool like story elements to it that I didn't think I would definitely get from such a cartoony game. But this game is just so wholesome, and it's kind of anime-esque in that, like, I don't know, it just gives me like not maybe not anime-esque, just more of the like early childhood kind of memories. It just brings back that kind of feeling in. It's been a long time since I played an adventure game that was like that brought me back to those days.
I will challenge you on one thing. Like I enjoy this game. Story's good. I don't know if I can go there. I don't know, man.
What episode are you on though?
I just finished episode 3 today.
Okay.
So I'm pretty good. I'm pretty far into it. I don't know if I can call this story good.
I like the rivalry that they give you, like with all the different characters,
that dude.
specifically
what?
with
I hate
Nino.
him.
Oh,
No,
you
I
hate
hate
him?
him. No, I thought it could. I hate him. Nino, him.
Yeah, Nino.
No, I
like
hate
the power,
him. Everything
the
about
powerless
him
dude.
just sucks. You know, I feel like a good rival. The rival shouldn't, like, you should be jealous of the rival. Like, you should like have feelings toward the rival.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing though. So Cole, so Nino, basically you are playing as Otto, like who's your main character protagonist, basically. And there when you get to school, there is like who's supposed to be your rival, and his name is Nino. And basically at this school, like you are supposed to unleash your like it's supposed to give you dodgeball powers. Basically, everybody has a different superpower, and Nino wants to be the best of the best, and he ends up not having a power. This is like in the very beginning of the game, so it's not
given
spoilers.
a term too.
So
actually did give me a giggle. They called it like a disease called no poweritis.
Yeah, no poweritis. So it's interesting. I want to say wait till you get to episode 5 because they do some more stuff with Nino, but I really like Nino because he's not the typical rival that they give you, which is like, oh, this person is just another person just like you. They're supposed to be a little stronger than you, and it's just like that. But this one puts a really cool spin on it where like Nino kind of sucks because like he does not have superpowers, but he's really striving to get there. And they do some things where they later in the episodes, they kind of pull on your heartstrings when it comes to him. And he's not just, he's just your rival. Like they put actual character development to him in the later episodes, which I really appreciate. And I think because these aren't just like, this game is not sticking to the traditional script. Like it's giving you, it's trying to do something different, which I really appreciate, at the same time while giving you that nostalgic feeling of your childhood games. And that's why I really like this game. And I didn't have to pay for it because it's on Xbox Game Pass. So, that's always a plus.
The graphics and the presentation look incredible.
It's absolutely. I mean, I literally cannot believe how good it looks sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it looks amazing.
Honestly, if this was a big open world, I'd be all about it. But to me, it looks like you only have a hub world, and it's just tons of dodgeball games. Is that right?
I hope there's a sequel.
Yeah,
I really do hope there's a sequel, and they give it like a Pokemon-sized world. I feel like a Pokemon-sized world would be good enough for me.
Yeah, because you are actually limited to the school, but the school actually has a good bit of areas. Like there's a Lost Woods area, there's a Deep Woods area, there's like you can go in all the buildings. There's literally a Poke Shop basically where like you go to the infirmary to restore your health and stuff.
The amount of Pokemon references in this game are insane.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Like it literally is to the point, Cole, you play Pokemon, right? Or at least so like when you have to, when the Pokemon is making you progress. And so you have to go through whenever you're trying to go through any area, there's like a whole round of trainers. Mm-hmm. And you have to walk by them, and when you walk by them, they're like, it makes
the exclamation point,
exclamation point, and then it's like you have to fight them. This game does that same thing.
They do the same exact thing.
Same, it's not the same sound, but it's this very similar sound. Like when you're at the Poke Center, to heal your not your Pokemon, but yourself. It makes the same sound basically. I'm like, it's wearing its influence on its sleeve, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It also has a little bit of Mega Man Battle Network too, in my opinion, because it has that I told y'all I did the reminiscence about Battle Network. So it's Battle Network, you're on one team's on one side, the other team's on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And it has that separation kind of like that as well. There's a lot of different, I feel there's a lot of games in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that it is, it's taking a lot of these references, but making them kind of unique to itself.
Yeah, and making it its own. And
Yeah, I can't say it's like copying them. It's just
Well, it's
being
kind of
influenced,
is it kind of like well, this is almost a copy, but Immortal Phoenix Rising, and
I
it just
appreciated that game more
I
than most
know,
people.
and I liked it a lot. I liked that game a lot, but it was unabashedly just inspired by Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
I think just one part of it was inspired by Breath of the Wild. I think
they had the climbing,
the climbing aspect and the gliding aspect. Yeah, that was directly lifted from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, and they had the world was kind of.
Everything else, I felt like there's two games that get that label, that and Genshin Impact. And I think that
Genshin Impact for sure.
Yeah, but I think both those games do specific things way differently than Breath of the Wild does. That I don't consider them clones, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but my point is that doesn't bother me. I mean, if it's a good game, some of the great games of all time, Pokemon and Zelda, there's going to be games that are made out in this same vein that just turn out to be great too, because it is a great formula. So they took this and did the dodgeball game with it, and it looks like it's very successful, and it's really awesome. I love like what you guys say about the Saturday morning cartoon art style. Takes you back to that childhood feeling, waking up and watching cartoons on Saturday.
Bright. It's so bright.
Is.
Like the colors,
awesome.
I think the color scheme carries it in a lot of ways. It's so bright. The colors are so vibrant, and I know you said one day, Cole, like you're a gameplay person. I'm a gameplay person too, but more specifically, I'm a gameplay loop person. Like that gameplay loop, like if that's not there and I'm not enjoying the loop, I'm gonna drop the game.
Yep.
This game has a very, very, very good loop to it, where it's like, you're gonna wake up. When you wake up, there's gonna be trainers, but dodgeball players out, and they're going to challenge you. You're gonna challenge them. You're gonna fight them. You're gonna win. Then you're gonna go to class. Something crazy is gonna happen in class. Some robots are gonna get out. Like you're gonna learn a new skill. It's like what to expect, but the game like does a little bit differently each time, that it's not repetitive.
Right. Yeah. It's not just forcing you over and over and over into these quote unquote Pokemon battles, these dodgeball battles. Like always something new is happening, which I really, really appreciate. But this game also does a really good job at like, this is clearly like a kid's game that is truly for everyone. I feel like, because it's one of those rare kid games that like adults will really, really enjoy, but at the same time, like if you get like your kids to play this, like they would love it just because of how vibrant and how fun it is.
I wish I was a kid playing this. I would have ate this up.
What this makes? Go ahead.
At the same time, this game gets hard. Like this game actually gets really hard. Like as you in episode 5, and like for these dodge battles are getting up there to the point where like there's one ability, there's like a focus ability that you learn that I was not using at the earlier stages, but like, and you kind of have to like switch out your teammates too, and basically you control one person at a time, but at any point during the dodgeball you can switch to another person because they have different abilities that you can use, and you really, in the later stages, you really have to switch and use other people's abilities, and it's really testing my reflexes, because at the heart of this game, the dodgeball game is about reflexes, because you have to like time your buttons to catch the balls that are coming at you at specific times.
You have a parry button in a way.
Basically, yeah. So some characters can catch the ball, some of them can counter and just immediately throw it back, like throw it back at the other team. Like this game gets a lot deeper than I was expecting, and I really appreciate it and really enjoying my time. Everyone should play this game.
It's another reason why you should get Game Pass,
For sure.
It's crazy because, I see arguments all the time of, people are paid to promote Game Pass. It's like, no. We don't get a dime for this. Like, the Game Pass is the service that you want if you just like trying out games.
Mm-hmm.
if you are somebody who, has a crazy backlog because, hey, I want to try this game out real quick. You try it out and you don't like it. It's like, nah, it's just stuck in your, you just have this now. You have it forever.
Right.
Game Pass, you have it. You try out Dodgeball Academia. You don't like it. It's all good. I'm
That's
so
fine.
glad I tried it out because I would have never bought this game. I would have never even
Right, yeah.
if this is like $20, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna buy this. Like it's $20 game. I might wait till it's like $5, but I'm not gonna buy it just off rip. But just having it on Game Pass available to download, it's just if you have Game Pass, this is something that I wouldn't say it's a must play.
What?
I would say it's
must play.
you should play this. If you have access to it, you should play this. Is
Nobody
it also
listened to him. Everyone, this is a must play. Game of the year 2021.
Oh my gosh.
shots fired? Oh,
Play this game. But I do agree with you when it comes to Xbox because there were a couple of shadow drops with Xbox Game Passes, which I was not expecting from. We'll talk about it later, but the Nintendo Indie World Showcase. But alongside Dodgeball Academia this week, another game had dropped on Xbox Game Pass called Curse of the Dead Gods, which has actually been out for quite a while. It's another roguelike, but I wanted to drop it and try it because I've heard good things about it. And because I've had Xbox Game Pass, I didn't have to worry about, I have to pay this $20 price tag in order to get in this game. And I really am enjoying that game too. It's nothing on the level on a Hades, which also dropped on Xbox Game Pass this week. So you can play that too on there. But
that too.
yeah, it's a phenomenal value.
Yeah. Cole, get it. It's on Switch.
I know.
It
Why
is
does
on Switch.
this game makes me want to play it on an OLED Switch? Because it looks so like the colors just look like they just pop off the screen.
Yeah. I honestly, it is a little off topic, but not really because of Hades. I was playing a little bit of Hades too. And I beat Hades on my Switch all the way through. I'm playing it on Xbox on my 4K TV, and I'm like, oh my god, this looks so much better.
Really?
This almost looks like a different game. Like legit.
Wow, I may have to try that.
I mean, the game is beautiful.
The game is beautiful. It also runs at 60, and it runs on 30 on Switch. I didn't notice that until I cut it on Xbox. I'm like, oh, this looks incredible. I might have to beat this again.
I can only imagine. Yeah, I only played it on 60.
Is it a Game Pass
it changes the game. It is now.
Awesome. Yeah.
It is as of I think Thursday.
Yep.
So yeah, it's been a pretty good week for Game Pass as far as indie games go.
And it's still coming up because this month Game Pass is going to be crazy for August because this month
Game Pass is going to be crazy for the rest of the year.
Yeah, we got 12 minutes coming up. Like I think in the next 2 weeks we have Psychonauts 2. Like those are the next ones I'm looking forward to.
And then we got Back 4 Blood at some point, which I'll talk about. And then obviously Halo and Forza. So there's a good amount of games coming out for Game Pass. It's if you have an Xbox and you have Game Pass, I don't know what you're playing.
And I just have PC. I don't even have an Xbox.
Right, PC too. So
yeah.
Are all the games that we just mentioned, are they coming to PC Game Pass as well?
Yes, they are.
Great. Good to hear.
Nice.
What else you been playing, Alfredo? Then I'll go. And then we'll matter of fact, no. You go ahead and then I'll let Cole go.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the only thing else I've been playing is a little bit of, I mentioned it, it's called Curse of the Dead Gods, which is also from Xbox Game Pass. It's just in one of those roguelite games where, you die, you get better, you come back with some upgrades, and you try again. Very, very comparable to something like Hades. The only difference is that this game puts a spin on the roguelike genre in that it, instead of, you coming back with power-ups, every run that you do, basically they have different rooms that you can go through. And every room that you go through increases your corruption level. And in each, when you basically reach a corruption threshold, you get a debuff to your character, whatever that might be. So you're basically trying to get through this really hard dungeon with all these skeletons and whatnot that you're fighting with whatever weapons that you find in these dungeons, whether they be swords, shields like spears, guns, anything like that you can find, and you're just trying to get through the dungeon. while keeping your corruption level low so that you don't get too many debuffs before you get to the final boss, basically. So it's kind of like it's trying to be a little bit more punishing because it's trying to make you manage, like, okay, if I take this particular item, it's like good for me in the long run, but it will end up increasing my corruption level, which will ultimately give me a. So like there's a little bit of strategy when it comes to this game. I wouldn't say it's as good as like Hades, because Hades like nails like just how arcadey and fun and action packed the regular gameplay tends to be. This one is a little bit more slower. This one's a little bit more methodical, like you have to think about things. But it's really enjoyable. If you have Xbox Game Pass, you should definitely try it if you enjoy those roguelike games. But I'm slowly making my way through it. There's, with roguelike games, it's just that gameplay loop, kind of like that you're talking about, Thomas. Like you're basically doing the same thing over and over and over again until you succeed and get to the final boss. So it's just another roguelike. It's pretty fun. And if you have Game Pass, you should try it out. It can't hurt. It's
Curse of the Dead Gods. Free. Is that right?
Curse of the Dead Gods. Yeah.
Is it pretty top down like Hades?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Cool. I'll look it up. I might as well download it. It's probably not.
Yeah.
These roguelikes appear to they're not too big in terms of size.
Yeah, they're pretty small.
Game. I will not download a Game Pass game if it's over like 10 gigs. Like I'll download the smaller ones.
Yakuza?
I have that. And okay. I'm saying like in terms of just trying out a game.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? If I want to play a game, like I'm playing Yakuza 0 slowly. So yeah, I'm playing that.
Yeah,
so, yeah
me too. Same.
Yeah. But as far as the smaller games, like even if I'm not gonna play it, I'll just download it because like it's a gig. What's the harm? All right. And we had the Duke of Rocket League himself. What have you been playing this week?
So I have been playing Rocket League. And
nice.
Well, I haven't been playing anything else because I went on a vacation again. So I just played the new update came out, and I played that before I left, and then I played it when I got back. So every time, this is season 4. They rebooted the season. It's really like season 20 something by now. But they added a new map. And every time they hadn't added a new map in almost a year. And whenever Rocket League adds a new map, the fan base kind of goes crazy, which it doesn't really make much sense because all the maps play exactly the same. It's essentially just the background. It's just a new background. You can't even
see the background while you're playing like that because everything's moving.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But it is there's something to it though. It is exciting getting a new map in Rocket League. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't really make a difference. But now back in the early days, they actually had like maps were ranked and they would be different shaped. Like there was an octagon shaped map, and you could bounce it off the walls and stuff. But anyway, so this update came out. It was, a new season, and we played our placement. Me and my partner, my buddy, we played our placement matches, and you play 10 matches, and it re-ranks you. Well, I'm ranked lower than him because I play with my other friend who is actually, ranked really low, and he is ranked about the same as me. So he is Diamond 3, and I'm like Diamond 2. Well, we went on a run, won a bunch of games, and so I've been playing Rocket League for 6 years now. Played it on launch day, and I've been waiting to get champion like the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So just last night at like midnight, me and my buddy got champion. He hit champion last night, and since I didn't hit it though. I did not hit it. I didn't hit it. We clap for him, but I didn't hit it because, like I said, I play with my cousin too, who's like ranked in the platinums. So it brings me down a little bit.
Oh,
so now I've been sitting at Diamond 1 forever, like Diamond 1, Diamond 2, and when me and him partner together, he's like Diamond 2, Diamond 3. So literally, I've been in that for like 8 or 9 months. So now I'm thinking, well, crap. He's champion 1. I'm probably going to sit here for another 6 months until I'm able to cross the hump. But I went on a run today. We went on a run and we won probably 6 games in a row. And I was Diamond 3, Division 4. Literally needed probably one more game. I would have hit champion. And we went on a losing streak and we lost like 6 games in a row. And he actually lost his champion rank and he bounced back down. But y'all, I've been waiting. I've been wanting to get champion. It's the end game for me. I've been wanting to get champion for 6 years now. But that's my Rocket League update.
Reminds me of
dope.
those
On the
Overwatch
breach.
matches that I recently started getting back into. It's rough out there.
It is. Oh, jeez. But anyway, so maybe one day I'll update y'all one day, and I'll have it. It could be next week. It could be a year, 2 years from now. Who knows?
We'll be looking forward to it, man. I hope you get it like in the best way. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna find a way to put a soundboard in, and we're gonna have a button for when you get it. It's gonna be great.
All the
Taylor's
horns,
gonna add some
all the
graphics. It's gonna be a crazy event. We're gonna make an event of it. Man.
Honestly, the thing that I was thinking of when I was about to hit, I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to tell the guys about this. It's gonna be awesome. But I just
It's gonna
couldn't
be
get
crazy.
it. I couldn't get it.
No.
Yeah.
We believe in you.
We believe
waiting.
we believe in you, and we believe in the game.
We'll see.
Oh man. So I've been playing I had a really like how you are to Rocket League, Cole, I am to Smash. Super Smash. So
Really? I didn't know this.
yeah. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. The thing is, I don't like playing stock. I'll play it. Like it's fine. I know that's the way most people like to play, but I grew up playing just regular get the most kills. Like that has been the way I fundamentally play. So I usually play that online. So yeah, I probably played at least like 40 matches this week. You know,
Who's your main?
I have a couple.
Right,
First
let's guess.
Yeah, let's guess. You first,
Okay.
Cole.
I think I don't know much about Smash anymore, but I think Link.
No.
I'm thinking.
I don't hate him. I'll use him, but he's not my main.
I think you're Captain Falcon. No?
Give us a hint. Give us a hint.
Yeah, give us a hint.
It's a game, it's an RPG that I absolutely love.
RPG. But he doesn't.
Oh,
you don't play
it's Cloud.
Earthbound.
You play as Cloud.
Oh, that's a good guess, but no. That's a
No.
great guess. That was an absolutely great guess.
So it's not Mega Man. You love that BattleNet game.
That's not an
It's
RPG
Mega
though.
Man. Yeah,
Well,
but the
BattleNet's
BattleNet game.
RPG.
The BattleNet.
I don't know. You got to tell me because
Wait, no,
I don't
give us
think you're
another
an
hint.
Earthbound person,
Another hint. He uses a sword.
and it's not Cloud.
But he's an RPG person.
RPG Smash, and it's not. What's that flying guy?
Oh, from Persona, Joker.
No, it's not Joker.
He didn't have a sword.
He doesn't have a sword. I don't know. Tell me, I'm dying to know.
Hero.
Oh, from Dragon Quest.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot they added him. I wasn't even thinking about him.
So I get a
Interesting,
lot
okay.
of shit because I play in a couple Smash, like we have a couple Smash chats like on iPhone and everything.
Mhm.
And everybody hates the fact that I use him because I know
'Cause
how
he's
to
annoying.
abuse because if you really know
You
how
can
to
cheese
use
it.
Hero, he's OD. Like because he can block everything. He has one hit kills if you know how to use him. So it's like people give me shit. So he's my main. If people give me shit, I'll use Banjo and Kazooie.
Hmm.
Let me ask you this. But so the Smash community, I thought that Smash was known as like everybody being pretty well balanced. Is that not the case?
Isn't like Joker like and Bayonetta like aren't they like the top tier ones? Like there's definitely division lists where like
Is there?
characters are clearly
It depends because look, I could play against a top Smash player, even like a semi-top Smash player with my main and get destroyed with them using like Jigglypuff. Because at the end of the day, it's about fundamentals with Smash.
Yeah.
It really is about that. Like it really like the moves do matter, but it all matters about your placement and how you like recover. Like that's the main thing. Like the one thing that really isolates it for people, like in terms of like makes things unbalanced, is some characters don't have great recovery.
Uh-huh. Yep.
So like Little Mac, for example, Little Mac is a
main
great.
does not have a great one.
Who's your main?
I don't know. You gotta guess.
Okay, give us a hint.
I have two
Give us a hint.
mains.
Yeah,
I
give
have
us a
two
hint.
mains. I have two mains. I'll give you a hint though. What my first main is probably one of Taylor's favorite
Oh,
characters.
Ness.
Yeah, Ness is one of my mains, and I'll just tell you the second one. The second one's Zelda.
Okay.
They're my
You
mains.
said that. You said that one. You
Yeah,
said
I told
Zelda.
you guys that before.
Yeah,
I
but
love
yeah,
me
no,
some
Ness. I
Zelda
hate Ness.
Celebrates.
My friend, she uses Ness, and I hate him because he has that spam move with the fire.
Yeah. Lucas has that too. Well, it's
They
not as
both do.
bad. Yeah.
It's not as bad, but they both do have that fire. PK
Yeah.
fire. That shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, never had to hear
But their
that. Never had to hear that
recovery,
shit.
horrible.
Nah, but the thing is, everybody has a spam. Every character, like if you use them correctly, like yes, like they can, everybody can do damage.
Mhm.
But there are characters in the game that like Sephiroth, for example. Sephiroth is one of the DLC characters, and he's OD. Like like his moveset is kind of
As
crazy.
expected. You would
Yeah,
expect that of a
yeah,
Sephiroth.
but it's like I've seen good players use him. I'm like, yo, I can't even attempt to beat
Yeah.
this person, you know? And
That sword too
also
long.
Kazuya, the dude from Tekken. He's
Mm.
OD too. He has a crazy moveset too. So
All
yeah,
these
I
new
would it's
DLC
not that
characters.
it's not that it's unbalanced. I wouldn't say it's unbalanced. It's just there are characters who I think are inherently better, but everybody has a flaw. Like not one character does. Like Hero, for example, Hero has the most amount of moves. Like Hero has like at least 30 moves, when most characters have like 4 or 5.
Right.
The thing is with Hero, just like an RPG, you know, like when you have like the MP, your magic, you have like a magic meter,
Mhm.
and if you
Mhm.
run out, you run out, and you
Yeah.
can't use magic anymore. That happens with Hero too. So it's like I can use
Kinda
all these
cool.
moves, but if I have no MP, he's basically defenseless.
Mhm.
So it's like
That's
there are
pretty cool.
drawbacks to every character, you know?
You're
Hmm.
making me want to get back into Super Smash because it's been
You
a
should play.
long
You gotta play
time
me. You
since I
gotta play. We
played.
gotta
I
play.
don't
We
know
gotta
about
play.
that because I'm not good. I
I'm
get
not look.
destroyed.
I'm not like I'm not going to tournaments. I'll get destroyed. I'm not like I am not of that tier. But it's like in terms of like just casual Smash player, yeah, I'm
Mhm.
above average for sure. Like I'm
Okay.
Do
definitely
they have a
I
ranking
think I'm
system
right at
online?
average. Yeah, they do.
yeah.
So what is your Smash rank? How do they rank it?
It's I really don't understand it. There's a
Me
ranking.
either.
I don't. It's weird. I have like it's like 8 million or something. I don't even know. It's like
So you
weird.
don't get like a
It's super weird.
see. Rocket League has got a perfect ranking system. It is the most
And
perfect
the thing
ranking and
is with
matchmaking system
Smash,
I've ever seen.
I think it's hard to rank because Smash, like for I be playing 1-on-1 for one match, and then the next multiplayer
And
match
the
will be
team battle.
like 4 players or 5
Mhm.
Oh
players.
yeah.
You know, so it's like
Hmm.
it's not like it's not a ranking system like it would be for like a fighting game for like Dragon Ball Z Fighters or Mortal Kombat, where it's literally
Mhm.
just 1v1 every time. So
It's Nintendo Online, so we're already asking
right,
too much just having the online
we're lucky the thing don't
multiplayer.
blow up. We're lucky the thing don't blow up while I'm playing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've gotten back a little bit more into Smash. So anybody who plays me in Smash, I'm back on. Play me. The other game I've been playing this week, or really just today, Back for Blood. I've been playing the alpha. I think it's the beta now. I think it's the beta. There's a beta going on. I don't know if it's for PlayStation, but I know Xbox Game Pass users get it for free.
Okay.
So I've been playing that today.
And Back for Blood, for anyone who doesn't know, is basically Left 4 Dead, which is like this 4-player co-op survival wave-based. Like they throw zombies at you, and you're just here to kill them. You're just
Right.
having fun with your 4 buddies. There's different type of zombies with special abilities, and
The
you're just
different
trying to kill them
objectives
all.
too, right?
Yeah.
So I never played Left 4 Dead. I never had Xbox growing up, so I never had a chance to play those games. Always heard good things, always are always at the end of the game of the year list. My friend, one of my good friends, he was like, Nick, we gotta play this, man. We gotta play Back for Blood. I'm like, he's a big Left 4 Dead fan. I'm like, all right, bet, I got you. So we cut it on. And like he immediately is like, I'm not liking this. I'm like, really?
Really?
You're not liking this? And he's like, I'm not liking this, bro. So when you start off, there is a card system in this game that I was not aware of.
I heard about
And
this system actually.
I didn't know about this. Like, it's literally like everything is tied to these cards, which I was a little mixed on because I'm like, this is a little much for what this game is. Like on the surface, we're just fighting zombies and this is whole card system. I'm like,
What
well,
what
I'll
do the
forgive
cards
it.
do?
Different things, statuses, increase your status, guns, healing. It's like everything. Everything is tied to and you make a deck before
Mhm.
each match. And I'm
Okay.
like, okay, I guess I don't like this, but I'll accept it. It's fine. I get into the game. I try this out on multiple different, like I tried it out on my regular, 4K TV. Then I tried it on my 144 hertz monitor just to get a different feel for it. It feels jarring and it feels janky a little bit. Like
Hmm.
feels a little janky. Now it's a beta, so I want to give it like the benefit of the doubt. Like okay, like it's still being made, but we are like 2 months away from release, so I don't know how much things are going to change. A little janky. The graphics are not next gen at all. The graphics are, I would say, like 2016 quality, which
Okay.
isn't bad. That's not
Yeah,
like
that's
it's
not
not
bad
horrible
then.
looking, but it's like I've seen better games. I've seen better looking third
Ho
party games.
how does the game handle, are you impressed with, like, the amount of zombies, like, it throws at you? Is it like a World War Z kinda deal?
Yeah, I mean, I will say this. I'm not as impressed by the amount of zombies on the screen compared to the amount of freakers on the screen for Days Gone. I'll put it like that. Like it's not like I'm not that impressed by it. It's cool. It's enough. I'll put it like that. It's enough zombies on the screen. It's not an
Okay.
impressive amount of zombies on the screen. I'll put it like that. The game, I would say overall, did not impress me. Like it didn't like get me more hype for it. I'll put it like this: if I did not have Game Pass, I would not be playing this when it comes out. I'll put it like that. Like, if it was not free for me to play, I would not be picking this up for $60.
How much do you think it just based off of the beta? Because I know, obviously you didn't get to play all of it or anything, but based off of the beta, how much do you think would be like an appropriate price point for what you're looking at? Like 20, 30?
Like 40. Like, what did
Okay.
Remnants of the what's that game? Remnants
Remnant
of
from the
the
Ashes?
what's that? That's like a $40 game, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Or
Yeah,
30.
yeah, it's like that. It's not a horrible looking game, and it has good gameplay. I will say the gunplay was a little lacking to me too. That was the other thing I was not expecting. I thought the gunplay was like when I saw what we saw in the trailers and stuff. I was thinking, oh, we're gonna get great gunplay. It's okay. They turn on aim assist, and I've learned that when a game turns on aim
Mm.
assist, that is not a good thing. That is not a great starting point. So, because I don't like aim assist, I try to turn that off. Like unless the game, like the gunplay is horrible and it's the only way I can get through it, I try to turn that off. 'Cause I like playing shooters, like Call of Duty. I like playing it like that. I don't like playing it where you just put your gun up and it's directly on the zombie.
Right.
So I turn the aim assist off, and I'm noticing like this ain't Call of Duty, this ain't Battlefield, this ain't Battlefront, this ain't Apex. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just going down the list.
Mhm. I
Like
got you.
the gunplay is not impressing me. Now, is it bad? No, it's not bad gunplay. Like I'm having a decent time playing this. But the thing that was shocking me is my friend was not having a good time playing this. And
Who is actually the Left
wanted
4 Dead.
he's the one who wanted to play. He's the one who's like, Nick, we got to download and
Mhm.
play it today. Come on, it's only up to the 16. I'm like, all right, bro, I got you. I'm downloading now. I'm getting off of work at 3. I got you. And yeah,
Hmm.
he was just like, bro, like, I'm sorry. He started apologizing. I'm like, it wasn't that bad, man. It was like I had a fine time playing this. But he was like, bro, if like I would have just like downloaded Left 4 Dead 2 and had you play that with me, bro, over this. I'm like, dang. That and I'm like, and I started looking on Reddit, and Reddit kind of was saying the same thing. And I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
that's not, you don't want to be coming out the beta saying this kind of stuff, you know? I'm like kind of
Right.
worried about this. I was not worried about this game before actually playing it today. And truth be told, I was like, this is not a bad game. Like, I'm going to download this the first day when it comes on Game Pass. Like, it's coming, it's going to be on my Xbox. I'm going to play it. Like, I'm going to try to beat it to a certain point. I probably won't
Mhm.
do end game stuff, but I want to at least beat this game. But I'm starting to get worried that it's not going to be received well.
I got you. Yeah, I was interested in this game. It's not my type of game, but I was interested in seeing how it did specifically because Left 4 Dead is such a phenomenon when, we look back at games, and Left 4 Dead was one of those games that people just loved because, it allowed them to play with their friends. It had great gameplay. everything about it, people love it. So I was monitoring it pretty closely, and from what I've seen from all the previews and like even the Steam reviews, it seems like people are saying it's a good-ish game at its core, but it just doesn't have enough content to justify a $60 price point. Which
Yeah.
it seems like your comments are matching up with that.
Yeah, it screams 7 out of 10. It screams it. Like I'm like, dang, that's not where I thought this game would be. I was excited for this game. Like I think I told you, I'm like, this
Mhm.
winter is gonna be, because we were talking about the PlayStation delays of how PlayStation not really having much. I'm like, this winter is literally just me playing Halo and Back for Blood. And now I'm questioning that. Like I'm questioning it. I'm like, maybe Back for Blood's gonna be a weekend. It might be a weekend thing. Try to get through the campaign, and then, I'm like kind of sad about that because I was really looking forward to this. So I don't know. I hope that I hope they learn some stuff from the beta, and hopefully they're like saving the best for last. Hopefully, I'm hoping, but I don't know.
Mhm.
It didn't impress me. It wasn't horrible, but it didn't impress me.
Okay.
Have you had any thoughts about it, Cole? Have you seen this game?
Yeah, no, that sounds about like what I thought it would be, and I'm not interested in it. I'm not a first person shooter guy, so like I'm
Mhm.
not interested in it at all. Now, if you came on here and you told me that this game's incredible, then I would be interested in it. But now, after hearing that, I'm definitely not interested in it
Yeah, I would
anymore.
have for sure hopped in, and if you said like
And
this,
look,
you need to play this
I
game.
thought about it. I wanted to lie. I was like, I want this game to be good. Like I've been semi hyped for this game since the first time I saw it, because I'm like, I've always wanted to play Left 4 Dead. I'm like, you're telling me we're getting a brand new like next gen version of this? I'm like, yeah, sign me up.
Mhm.
So I really was rooting for this game, and I was playing it today. It's like I was having a fine time. I was having just a fine time, but my whole thought process was, unfortunately, I could be playing Dodgeball Academia right now. You shouldn't
What
be
I
saying
say,
that
game
about a
of the
game
year.
at $60. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be saying that about a game
Yeah.
at $60 that's had the amount of hype that it's had. So we will see
Yeah.
about it. Hopefully once we really get the actual version outside the beta, hopefully it's more polished than what I've seen. But right now, it's not looking too good. Let's talk about something on a more positive note, y'all. Nintendo dropped another indie showcase. I think this is the second one this year, if I remember correctly. I thought we talked about an indie showcase from them like while we've done the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Sounds about right. They definitely
Yeah,
had
because
like
they
an
had
indie
Ollie
section.
Rose on the last one, right? Yeah,
Yep.
Ollie Rose on the last one. They had a couple like pretty good ones for the last one, and for this one they showed a couple of those games, but they showed a lot of brand new games. So, I guess I'll kind of lead it. Let's start with. I'm just going to go through kind of the list. So the one thing that's interesting is a lot of the games that they announced here also come into game already on Game Pass as well.
Yeah, shockingly, they like stealth drop two like more high profile games that people have been like waiting on, specifically Boyfriend Dungeon, which I was excited about because I've been following that, and the developer Kitfox Games, I believe is who they are. They've been basically saying, "Oh, it's coming soon," but they've been saying this for like a year, and then Nintendo showed it, and it was like available later this year, and then it was this day actually, and then it was on Xbox Game Pass that they decided to also stealth drop it on, and then the other one was Axiom Verge 2,
Yep.
which is like the sequel to a very 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 critically successful game.
One of the biggest indie games of all time.
So,
Mhm.
can we stop on that one for a second? Have y'all played that?
Yeah.
I
Hold on one
haven't
second.
actually. It's on my backlog.
Do you recommend that game?
It depends on what you like. Do you like Metroidvanias?
If
I
they're really,
do.
really good.
Well,
Yeah,
you like
I think
Dead
it's a try.
Cells, so
Well, Dead Cells isn't actually Metroidvania.
Yeah, that's
It's
more of a
more.
roguelike.
more of a roguelike,
Yeah.
but it does have some Metrovania kind of abilities like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
vine, like
Yeah.
some of the stuff.
Yeah, no, I will say that I can't talk right now. I like the roguelike better than the Metroidvania, because the Metroidvania to me, you get a little lost in and going back and forth. I'm not really a fan of that. I really like the make a run back to begin and make another run. I like that repetition, and with every run, you can add a little bit, and a little, whether it's knowledge or whether it's item or
Mm.
cells or whatever, to make your unlock new weapons or whatever. But
Right.
Axiom Verge looks good though. I wanted to play the first one. I never did, but the second one actually really piqued my interest. So I think I'm considering going back and playing it. But it kind of depends on what you guys say, if you can sell me on it.
I would say definitely play the first one. I'm not for sure how connected. I've really been following the second one like that because look, I liked it, but it's not a game that I like, swear by.
Love.
You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
don't. It has a fine story. It's whatever. I played it mostly for the gameplay. The only criticism I have for the original Axiom Verge is I hate the size of the character. It's very small.
tiny.
Like how small they are?
Yeah, I did not like that. I wish that we could zoom the game in. Truth be told.
Seems like it would be a perfect game
Does
for
look slick.
Even
Switch.
on the Switch,
I know, that's what I
I
was
played it
thinking.
on Switch and I played it on PlayStation 4. Both, I'm just like, I played it to completion on Switch, and I'm like, I just wish everything was bigger. Like, it could even
Yeah.
just be like Metroid size, like Super Metroid size. I feel like Metroid, like the Super Metroid, Metroid Zero, those games, to me, if you're talking about Metroidvanias, those are perfect. Like, those are the standard to me, in my opinion. So, in terms of like how big the character is, the types of puzzles in there, I think this game is I think Axiom Verge is a fine franchise, and I definitely recommend it. But is it like my favorite Metroidvanias of all time? No. It may be in the top 10, but it's not one of the best.
Okay. Well, still, it's been a while since I played a pretty good Metroidvania, and I do need something to hold me over till Metroid Dread comes out.
I can't wait.
So-
for that one.
I can't wait for that.
I might pick this up.
Yeah, and this is all to say, I have not even touched 2, so 2 could be a fucking masterpiece, and I haven't played it. I might be an idiot. So I'm going to check it out. I don't know if it's going to be a this month thing or this year thing, but it'll eventually get played. I don't think it's going to get played for Metroid Dread though. That's a must. That's literally a must buy.
For sure.
And that's soon too, isn't it?
Yeah, October. 2 more months.
Yeah, so I can't wait for that. So yeah, Axiom Verge, that's the big one from the event. Anything I saw there's like a Shovel Knight Pocket Edition as well. That's what exactly is that? Did you hear anything about that?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. Yeah, the Shovel Knight Pocket Edition seemed to be like a match 3 kind of style of Shovel Knight. So you know how Shovel Knight was this like 2D kind of platformer. This one seems to be much more in the style of what was that game those mobile games where you're trying to match up the fruits, and like you get points when you match up like 3, 5, one of those games. I don't know the term exactly for it, but it seems like a much more casual game with and much more like mobile friendly game that simply like has the Shovel Knight skin on it basically. But it is more Shovel Knight, and I know people love Shovel Knight, so
Is it just me? I feel like Shovel Knight might be one of the most overrated games of all time.
Oh man,
Maybe
I got something to
Maybe
say
I'm
about
throwing
Shovel Knight.
shots. Maybe I'm throwing shots. I don't know, but I've
I
never been
kinda
like.
Did you play it?
I played it to completion. I played it to completion twice because I
When
wanted to
did
be
you play
sure
it?
about it. I played
When
it.
did you play it?
I played it like 2015. Because
So when it first came out?
period. Yeah, well, there was a period where I had moved to Virginia, went to a new college, Hampton University, and I had no friends because I moved. I literally transferred in January, so I knew nobody at the school. It's gonna take a while to make friends. So I was playing a lot of video games. So I was just like, oh, this is getting 10s out of 10s. All right, cool, I'm gonna play it. Played it, and I'm like, this was fine. This was
Yeah.
a fine game. Then it came out on Switch. It was one of the first games on Switch. Now, after y'all remember that period, like when Breath of the Wild came out, and then after that, it was like nothing.
yep.
So I
Exactly.
replayed Shovel Knight then, and I was like, yeah, this is still fine. Like I played it twice. I'm like, I don't see where this is like one of the greatest games of all time. Am I crazy?
I
I,
agree. I got the I came in pretty late to it actually, to the point where when I think the trilogy came out, like the Treasure Trove collection, so I ended up getting that as my first time.
Spectre Knight
And
and everything.
yeah, yeah. So it
Right.
had like all the like the three different campaigns to it. So I played the first one starring Shovel Knight, and I thought it was fine. It wasn't like anything special. But because I wasn't sold on, I guess that first, I hopped in a little to the other ones. Like I hopped into the Plague Doctor one specifically, and it was kind of just more of the same. So I never really finished it.
It shocks
um,
me that they never followed up with it either. That's the other thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, they released that DLC, but it was just adding on new characters. You play the same levels over, which I did that. I actually liked the game a lot, way more than I thought I would. Now, I don't think it's one of the best games of all time or anything like that. So it's definitely overrated. But when I played it, I loved it, and I think it was because it came out in that time right after Breath of the Wild, and the Switch was such a novel thing. I just wanted to play something on it, and Shovel Knight came out, and it was the side scroller, and it was pretty good, and I just had a really good time with it. But I think it was the timing
Gotcha.
Mhm.
I mean,
for
that's
me.
how a lot of games are. Like they come out at
Yeah,
the right time for everybody differently. I mean,
exactly.
I enjoyed it. My thing is, I played this game this year called The Messenger. And I'm like, this is like a way better version of Shovel Knight. Like an infinitely better in every single aspect. I think this game is better than Shovel Knight. And I feel like this game is getting no talk. Like I've heard it talked
Really?
about compared to
I heard
Shovel Knight.
I heard Shovel or the Messenger talked about a lot. It's actually the reason why I ended up getting it, because so many people around me, at least, were I was just hearing great things about this game.
We talked
Um,
about it on the podcast, didn't you? Did you talk about it,
I played it
Alfredo?
I played it. I was playing it this year
Oh yeah,
on the
you did.
podcast. And yeah, I finished it. And I was like, this is a great game. Like this is an excellent Metroid. It's a Metroidvania kinda, but it has a lot
mhm,
of other elements too. Just like how Shovel Knight is a Metroidvania kinda, but it has like
yeah.
Mega Man, it has like all these other influences, it has Mario in it. So I thought it did, that a lot better than Shovel Knight did. And
Wait,
I don't see many comparisons of the two, but I'm like, this game is an infinitely better game than Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight
They
always
seem
felt
like
a little sluggish to me.
they seem like very different games to me personally. Sadly, I never actually finished Messenger because I put it down and then I completely forgot where it was. And the
Oh
game does
yeah,
not give you any hints of what you need to do. You need to just
yeah,
figure it out
yeah.
sometimes. So one day I'll go back to that game, but I do remember it being a really fun game. And I did enjoy it more than I did Shovel Knight.
But I digress. I just had to unleash that Shovel Knight take. The other game was Garden Story, which is available. It's one of the games that's available now on Switch.
Mhm.
Now I don't know what it is, but when you put story under a game, for a Nintendo Switch, it seems to like pique my interest a little more. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, golf
golf story?
story. You know what I'm saying? You got with the sport. There's another one.
Yeah, what was
Oh,
it?
there's a sequel
Oh,
to
I know what
Golf
you're talking
Story
about.
that's like Sports Story or something like that. And there's another one that's story too. When you put story under it and it's like kind of an RPG-ish game, I'm like, all right, you pique my interest a little bit. And
Mhm.
so this game, you are a grape. You are a grape with a sword, so it's already piqued my interest a little bit. I'm actually
Yes,
interested.
the slogan
I
is
might cop this.
greatness awaits.
Hey, excellent, excellent. Shouts out to the PR team.
Right.
But yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
it definitely
yeah.
looks fun.
I think so too. I
Aside
think I
from
might cop this.
I agreed, same for me.
Yeah, it looks
Aside
good.
from the ones that I really wanted to shout out was there's a game that they announced called Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, which is like another it's another one of those skate games. It seems like we're getting a lot of skate games recently. Is it just
Love
me?
it. I
Um,
love it.
but yeah, this game seems like it's all about kind of like Tony Hawk Underground, those types of game where it's all about style. You're like it's set in a cyberpunk kind of environment where you're like running off of billboards, you're like skating off anything. You got jet boos, like there's different characters. So it seems like a pretty fun arcade ish game with it teaches that it has like some sort of story that you're trying to like build your crew and you have rival team that you're trying to battle. So it seems like a fun game that I can definitely get into when it does come out next year.
So it was
And
like
then
Jet Set Radio.
yeah, for sure. A lot of people are comparing it to that game, which is another plus since that game was great. But another
Yeah.
game that kind of took me aback that I didn't know I wanted to play this game was a game called Toem, which is a photography adventure game. But the reason why I want to play it is because it's kind of like this top-down view of like a white and black world. But like when you go in, you're essentially like a photographer and you're trying to get pictures of like all these things that these characters are asking you to get. And when you switch into your camera view, like it switches to like a 3D kind of world in this black and white, and it looks really, really beautiful. I like the art style when it does shift to that 3D perspective, and it just seems like one of those fun, casual adventure games that you can just sit back on your Switch and enjoy from time to time. You can put it down and then just pick it up whenever you need to like relax. It seems like a really chill, relaxing game.
Well, I like the idea of it. It didn't look like, to me, I'm not like impressed with it gameplay wise, in my opinion, but it
Mhm.
looked really cool. And I love those type of games being made because, stuff
Yeah.
like that expands the art form.
Yeah, I don't think it's driving it. I don't think Geff for sure is doing anything new with like the medium, but I kind of like those games that you can just chill with it. It's just like something relaxing to play sometimes.
Sure.
Take
Oh,
a break
right.
from
And
the dodgeball games.
oh, you need a break from this one, man. We're gonna be playing this for the next like week or so. Mike, are you gonna 100% it?
Dodgeball
Yeah.
Academia. I don't know. I mean, probably because I'm having such a great time with it, so probably. But I
When
am playing on PC, so I'm not like getting my trophies or anything, so that
um,
demotivates me a little bit. So we'll see.
were you about to say, Cole?
We need trophies on the Switch, man. Gosh, I would love trophies on
I
Switch.
just accepted that it's never gonna happen.
I
It must
know.
be. It must make the Switch explode or something.
The other game that caught my eye that I'm kind of looking forward to, and I think it could be a sleeper hit for the fall, is Eastward. Did y'all see
Hmm,
this one?
I didn't.
I
Looks
did see this one, yeah.
it's an RPG. Players must journey through a society on the brink of collapse as they encounter puzzles and dungeons. It's a post-apocalyptic world.
It did look very cool.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. A little RPG, which is just perfect for the Switch. But we'll see. I'm gonna keep my eye on it and see, and read impressions and stuff.
Yeah, and I think
Oh,
it's only coming out next month too, so you don't
Yeah,
even have to wait that long.
yeah. No,
yeah.
September 16th, I think.
Mhm.
The one game that, and this, we can move on after this, but the last game that I thought I wanted to bring up, unless anybody else had anything else,
Mm-mm.
but the last game I was
Not
going to
me.
bring up is Necro Barista. It's like a visual novel that's available now. It was announced at the indie showcase. It's basically like a visual novel that's inspired by anime.
Mm.
So, you are anime visual novel. You pretty much have my my attention. That's all you have to say. And so I'm like, I like the vibe of it. It seems like you are like you're in this like little coffee shop, it seems like, and there's like a store, like a mystery vibe to it. And like, I like the vibe of this. So
Okay.
I think I saw something of this like maybe a couple months ago, and I didn't realize it was going to be come to the Switch like the day of. So
Mm.
yeah, I think that's my next one.
Apparently it's a re-release. It actually came out in 2020, sometime last
Really, I
year,
didn't know that.
but they're adding new story content and new visuals to it. This one is called Necro Barista Final Pour, which is the
Final
director's
four.
cut.
All right, final mix.
Great PR, great naming.
Is it? Is
Yeah,
it?
I think it's great.
You did.
It's the title I would come up with. That's why I think it would be
Got
great.
you. Last question for everybody. We don't gotta get into a deep discussion on it, but I want everybody to say their favorite indie game.
Dead Cells.
Fair
Dead Cells, 100%.
Ooh. You go first. I got to think about this for a hot second.
I'm in between two. I know it's my question, but I'm in between two. Because look, Inside, man, I played that this year, and it's like, damn.
Good
Like,
pick.
it's like I didn't realize I would have to make this decision. Like, because Hades would be my number one, but it's like, damn, like if I have to pick between those two,
Hades is a great pick.
it is. I'm gonna go with Hades.
Yeah, Hades is real up there for me, but I think this is an indie game. I think it's for sure an indie game. I would pick Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, that's an indie game.
Yeah, for sure, Dead by Daylight, due to the sheer amount of hours I have on that game, and due to the fact that it's a game that I only got hooked into it because they had like a free free weekend. You can play this game without buying it. Actually, I think no, it was on PS Plus, which is why I played it in the first place. And I am not a horror person. Like I thought I wasn't a horror person. Apparently I am. Because after I started playing this game, I still play it on the daily. Like I have an insane amount of hours in this game. It's like one of those comfort food games that I still play.
Right.
But it actually served as something that got me into horror movies, which I was definitely not into before. So like after I started playing this game, I started like watching the games that they started licensing killers. So in Dead by Daylight, they have like horror films like Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street. They have Halloween. They have like all these different things. So it got me into those movies, and like those are now like some of my favorite movies to watch. So it just got me on a much deeper. It went further than gaming for me, which was cool.
So I got that game. Fun fact: I'm a absolute diehard Halloween fan. I love the original and the new one too. I really love the new one. I'm looking forward to Halloween Kills. But I got Dead by Daylight because I love Friday the 13th, the game, so much. And I played Dead by Daylight and I liked it a lot. It's a great game.
We have a pretty good amount of varying amount, because I mean, Hades is a roguelike. Dead by Daylight is a
survival horror.
It's an asymmetrical multiplayer, blah blah blah. It's a horror game. Kind of.
And
not a few
Dead Cells is a roguelike, but just a different style of roguelike. Because it's not like a top down.
Now, if I do have to look through all my backlog, and that this answer might change after I look and see, this game 10 years ago came out.
me too, because I thought about Stardew Valley. I put a god amount of hours in Stardew Valley. I really thought about it, like, I just can't put it because I hate the combat in Stardew Valley, so it's like it gets marks off or stuff like that. It's just for the amount of pure hours, Stardew Valley probably is number one.
That's fair. But I never actually got into that game. I need to try. I feel like I didn't give it a good enough try.
Don't do it. You'll lose hours. You'll lose hours of your life.
I'm already losing hours to Dead by Daylight.
I'm saying you don't want to lose anymore. Stardew Valley will take over your life. Like it is, you will be obsessed with your farm.
Well, I think the only reason I didn't get that way is because I played it late as well. I played it multiplayer in somebody else's world. So like I was basically helping them with their farm, which is probably the reason why I didn't get like personally attached to it.
Right.
So I'll give it another try eventually, probably on my Switch, because like that game just screams like, play me on your Switch.
The thing is, I played on PS4 like when it first came out, and I was like, this is gonna be a random ass game, whatever. I did not realize it was going to take like 80 hours of my life. I did not realize that was going to happen. So, 80 hours.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
Hey there, I'm Jim.
And I'm Matt.
I'm Dusty.
From Dad's Doing Nerd Shit,
a podcast on the Fandom Limb Media Network.
We talk about all kinds of nerdy stuff.
From Dungeons and Dragons to the MCU.
From video games to semi-current space news.
And anything else that catches our attention.
New episodes go live every Monday morning on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
We can also be found on Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitter.
So roll the dice and join us as we discuss the things we love and the culture around being a nerd.
let's get into our topic of the show, y'all. So I'll let you take it away, Alfredo, because I mean, this is and obviously I feel like out of all of us, Cole is the most invested in VR. I think we all have a big interest in the future of VR. And we got a kind of clearer view of what at least the Sony future of VR is going to be. So, yeah, kind of just tell us about what we are looking at as far as what's rumored for PlayStation VR 2.
Yeah. So, pretty much like this past last month, there's been rumors about the next generation of PlayStation VR and what that might look like. And according to an article through Upload VR, they were able to confirm some new details on the actual specs on what we could see from PSVR 2. So with it, we got information that, basically the PSVR 2 for sure will not be completely wireless like it is for Oculus Quest 2. It will, be connected to the PS5 with a single wire. You don't have to deal, kind of how the original had with, the HDMI ports, the processing unit, all of that. It'll just be like a single wire to your PS5. We also got some, right. We also got some news about just the updated visuals of it. So it's supposed to have an HDR OLED lenses within it, as well as 20, I want to say it's 20, like 40 by, no, I lied. It's a resolution of 4,000 by 2040 pixels, which is like near 4K resolutions for the lenses, which is going to be awesome. And then it's going to have like an additional field of view from the PSVR. It's going to have haptics, kind of how the DualSense has haptics in the controller, so that they can do different, senses, or like the controller sometimes feels like you're working on sand. The controller has that feedback on the triggers so that you feel like you're pulling the trigger of a gun. The headset was supposed to have the that kind of feeling in it, so that you can get some haptic feedback in it. Yeah, it's supposed to be able to most importantly, make use of the PS5 specs, which basically is, when you look at the PS5, it's like GPU is very, very comparable to nerd talk right now, is very comparable to some of last year's high end gaming PCs, basically, when it came out, with RTXs and ray tracing and all of that. So that is like the GPU in comparison to PS4, for some perspective, is like 6 times more powerful than the PS4. So PSVR, ran on PS4 exclusively, so you can expect its processing power to be 6 times better for the PSVR 2, which is like a pretty substantial jump in quality, you can imagine.
Right.
So all these things are some like very, very solid things that we can look forward to when it comes to PSVR 2. But one of the even more exciting things when it comes to PSVR and Sony's stance on it is that they came out and said that they want to specifically look into making AAA hybrid experiences. So games that you are able to both play just flat on your TV screen, just as a regular video game, or you might be able to strap on your PSVR 2 and experience it in game. So basically, in the same vein of like Resident Evil 7, where you can play it completely on your PSV, you can play it completely on your PS4, but you can also go, first person and be in the world of Resident Evil. They did that same thing when Hitman came out. So like they're looking more into that realm of what AAA experiences are, and how you can immerse yourself in worlds and have it be an option of putting on your PSVR, or you can just sit and play it like a regular video game, as opposed to just specifically exclusively developing these VR games on a AAA level. So I expect that Sony is definitely going to give us some of those exclusive games, but it'll be more on the side of like Moss, like some of the like more, indie-ish, like double A type of games, as opposed to something like I don't know, like maybe we won't get a full campaign length experience like Blood and Truth, which was like one of, you know, the best, or arguably the best, I would say the best
You don't think
PSVR
we're gonna get
exclusive.
those at all?
I think we're gonna get them, but based on their stance, it seems like we're gonna get like maybe not a full campaign, but like a shorter one. And if we do, we're gonna get it, the ability to either play it just shitting down completely, or you can put on your headset as well. So like different options, which is really exciting because like, it caters to both of their audiences. People who are looking to the future of VR, like I love VR. I have an Oculus Quest. I got PSVR when it first came out. Like I'm probably gonna get this when it comes out, just because it does have a little bit more better specs when it comes to in comparison to the Oculus Quest 2. And I'm excited to see what kind of exclusives we'll get with the PSVR 2. But I mean, these Sony actually coming out and speaking on, the future of PSVR gives me, it gives me hope that they're really, really looking into bringing VR to a more mainstream audience, because that's what they were really doing with the PSVR 1. Like that's what got me into VR. And I'm a like gamer, like I love playing all sorts of games. But when, Oculus first came out and Rift, things that require you to have these really, really expensive PCs, like I wasn't gonna, throw out $3,000 for a PC to be able to even run the VR on top of the VR units. Like I wasn't going to shell that out. That's a little bit ridiculous. But what Sony's doing here is they're making it at least somewhat affordable. You have
More
to have
friendly,
the PS5.
right.
Yeah, more consumer friendly. So like it's not like a far-fetched dream. Like you don't have to get all of these crazy high-end things. Like Sony is bringing it to the mainstream, and I think that's what is going to be needed in order to get it, have VR become more popular. Because people don't even, a lot of people who haven't experienced VR, I say, hey, put on this Quest 2, and they're like blown away when they see it. Like it happens, it's like a kind of like a party trick, but like they're actually really, really good experiences in VR now. Like I feel like every day it's getting better and better. They have like, VR chat, which you can just chill. And then they have actual games that you like full campaigns. So it's an exciting future.
I'd say, I think Facebook bought it to the masses because the Quest now is $299. That's incredible. It is the best value, besides it probably Game Pass, in gaming. Like I think it is such
I agree, it's a better value. It's a better value than Game Pass.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Like as far as hardware goes,
is.
it's amazing. Like the fact that you get the headset and those two controllers in there for $299 is amazing. And they're not making any money off that. They're
I
making money
think, but
on the back.
my thing is, not to interrupt you almost real quick. I think that thing is a compromise in a lot of ways, because that thing is not powerful, but it's good enough. It's good enough to give you that experience, but
And
it's
this is the
not
thing.
powerful like this is gonna be. That's the
No, it's
difference.
not. But the thing is, we don't need that power. I mean, look at this Oculus Quest. You put it on and it's unbelievable. Beat Saber in the Oculus Quest. I mean, if you play PC VR, you can tell the difference if you take it off and put it on, because there's more effects and stuff like that. But Oculus Quest has proved, and it's running on old hardware. I mean, it's probably 2-3 years old by now. If
It's less powerful than
PSVR,
our cell phone, right?
exactly.
Yep.
And look what they've done with it. It's unbelievable. And it shows, it's a testament to how good the developers can be when they're faced with the challenge or something. Like these developers completely reworked these things with what seemed to be impossible, and they made VR games project the image twice on a mobile platform. It's unbelievable.
Right.
But here's where I think that I'm just disappointed that Sony missed the boat on this to me. Now, I do think they're going to be successful. I think that Oculus is still going to be number one in the VR space because I think it's just way more accessible. When someone comes over and tries your PSVR, oh, well, what do I have to have? Oh, I got to have a $500 PlayStation, which I can't find in the stores. Oh, and then, or what, a $400 PlayStation 5. Then I got to buy a $399 headset. And I can't jump around like everybody else does with the Oculus. I mean, just go to never mind. Just go to Best Buy right now. Buy your $299 Oculus Quest. Boom, that's it. You can take it anywhere. Play it in your backyard. Play it in your living room. Your wife's sleeping. Play it in the driveway. You know,
Just can't play it in the dark. Just can't do that. That's the one thing you can't do.
You can. If you order
tracking, that's where I encounter problems. That's the one time where like if the lights are completely off and I cut it on, it will be like, oh, you need a little bit more light, bro.
But here's what, guys. Here's what everyone does on Reddit. You can order like a $20 infrared light sensor, and you put it in your room, and it lights up your room in the complete darkness with infrared lights, and tracking's perfect. So it's like a cool because it uses infrared. So like that. It lights up the room and you can use it. But like so anyway, I wish that Sony could. I wish they had just seen the success of the Quest and said, hey, we can make ours completely wireless, a Sony product like the PSP, like the PS Vita. This thing's going to be on the go with Sony games. And man, I just feel like they could have killed.
I think you're mad at the wrong company. I'll put it like that.
At Sony?
You should be mad at Microsoft, not Sony. I don't think Sony can afford to do that. That is an insane investment of money into, let's be honest, an unproven commodity.
What's that much more expensive though than they're just putting the trackers on the outside of the headset?
Here's the thing. I think that they see PlayStation VR more as an add-on to sell more PlayStation 5s as opposed to its own thing. I think like that's how I saw the PlayStation VR 1. That's how I see this. It's an addition to your PlayStation 5 experience. It's not its own thing. And that's how I've always kind of looked at how they look at VR. And I got to respect that because VR is a very unproven field. Like you said, Facebook is probably losing a lot of money on VR right now. Sony can't afford to. Sony is not like, if you think of how big Facebook is huge. They can afford to get a loss like that. Sony can't make that. They can't afford that thing to like be sold at a loss to that degree. Microsoft can, and they're not even investing in it. That's who you should be mad at, because Microsoft could do something like this, and they don't do it.
Yeah, what you're saying is true. I mean, that's the thing is Sony. I just feel like they missed the boat. I feel like it could have been bigger, and I feel like it would have paid off for them.
I think what you want it to be is a Quest, right?
Yeah, I want to be
like that comes with drawbacks because you're gonna have to. It's gonna have to be less powerful, and you're not gonna be able to.
But the Quest has shown us, guys, that we don't need that power.
Huh?
The Quest has shown us we don't need the power. I feel like,
but my thing is, I think this thing could run Half-Life Alyx. I think that I expect
one game.
This thing to run.
It's one game.
But I'm saying games going forward of that quality, bringing VR further down the road. I think that the Quest, like, you're not going to get much better experiences as opposed to what's offered now. Or newer games that are of that same quality. You'll still get the Saints and Sinners. You'll get the Beat Saber. You'll still get the Super Hot. Half-Life Alyx is more of a thing. I think Sony wants to make a VR unit that is on par with an Oculus Rift as opposed to an Oculus Quest. Now, does that mean it's going to be less successful? Oh yeah, sure. This is not going to, and it's not going to sell anywhere near as much as the Quest is sold. But I don't think that's what they're trying to do. I think they are trying to tap into that PC VR market, and they're trying to turn consumers who wouldn't who think like Alfredo, like I don't want to have to upgrade my rig to be able to play Half-Life Alex. They're like, oh, you just play on your PS5. I think they want to get those people as opposed to what you want, which I think it's still valuable and why Quest is such a valuable product. Quest is going to handle those people who have no experience in VR, and this is the best way to do it. And Facebook is the perfect company for that because Facebook is not a gaming company. Facebook is a social media company. I think they're the perfect company to kind of do this for that. I think Sony is a PlayStation company for the most part. I mean, they do other stuff, but Sony is PlayStation is the moneymaker. Right. So I think it's just a different approach to VR. I differ with you in terms of I don't think it's wrong. I don't think it's a wrong approach. It's just a different approach.
Right. I definitely completely agree. And at the end of the day, like this is going to be a huge win for VR in general because you guys are kind of saying the same thing because Cole is, well, you're saying different things, but both things are really great for the medium
as a different
whole.
Perspective. It's just a different perspective.
Well, the thing is because with Oculus Quest 2, they are going to be your more, what's going to happen is, when the PSVR 2 comes out, just like PSVR, people are the gamers who really want to have, an upgraded VR experience, they're going to get the PSVR 2. And what's going to help that is, of course, the exclusives that are going to be released on that. So they're going to get the best of the best gaming. They're going to be getting those experiences like Half-Life Alex, things that hopefully will drive the medium forward. And then when that happens, they're going to say, hey, buddy, like whenever someone visits, you got to try this. And then when, their minds, a mainstream, consumer's mind will be blown and they'll be like, hey, I need something, but maybe I don't need it on the level of a PS5 and the PSVR, spend like $1,000 or however much it's going to cost. But hey, I can get this second option, this Oculus Quest 2, which will give me really, really cool experiences. And that'll be really cool, but I don't really need the AAA game experiences. I just want the really cool and affordable option. And Oculus Quest 2 will be there for that. I think when this comes out, it'll boost the numbers for both, actually, because, they'll kind of be helping each other with PSVR moving the medium farther, like Thomas is saying, and then, Oculus Quest 2 being there for the more mainstream, helping it become more mainstream.
I will say, I think, and y'all probably disagree with me on this, I think the Quest moves the medium further than the PlayStation. Because the PlayStation is you're locked to the machine. I feel like the accessibility of the Quest moves the medium further along, because like being able to take it to your friend's house, put it on, no boundaries at all, draw the Guardian, all that is so next gen. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And the freedom of movement. And think about when they finally come out with I saw this as like a dev talk at like Oculus Connect a few years ago. They were talking about how the Quest, they could map your entire house with the Guardian system and procedurally generate a game around your house to where you're walking around your house like taking down aliens, but you're actually in like a in a hallway or a bridge system or something, but you're literally running through your house. These are the kind of things I feel like it pushes it forward, is the affordability, the ease of access, the no wires, the freedom of movement. These are things I think push forward. But now I do agree. I think Sony wants to push it forward to like what y'all are saying. And this is what I was thinking. I think this is the direction they want to go. They want to push it forward as a AAA video game, like what Sony does best. They do best AAA video games. And I think that's how they want to push the medium forward, is like, and I think maybe their long-term vision is too with this, y'all, is the PlayStation 6 could just be a VR headset. I mean, once resolution gets so good, I mean, put it on and just play, whether it's a pancake flat game in a theater room size experience or you're playing a VR game. Now, I will say the good thing that I think about this is the hybrid games. And the resolution is almost double that of the Oculus Quest. And Oculus Quest 2's resolution is really good in the VR space. But so if PlayStation's is double that, can you imagine playing like, I wish they would do something like this. Like the hybrid games, I feel like are kind of like half baked because they're what doesn't know what it wants to be. Whether it's going to be VR, but imagine playing Horizon, the new Horizon game, and you're playing the game with the VR headset on, but you are the camera. So you're still controlling Aloy. That's the kind of hybrid experiences I would love to play. And so you're controlling Aloy and you want to look back at the environment. You can look back at the environment, or you can lean into Aloy or look around, but you're still controlling her. How awesome. That would be incredible. And the resolution is so good that it's almost as good as sitting and looking at a 4K TV.
Yeah, and that's the benefit that
cool.
that single wire to the PS5 is going to bring you, like that you can do stuff like that. So
Right. And
Yeah,
I'm not mad. And I'm not mad that I was the main person who was cursing the PSVR because of all those damn wires.
Oh,
That thing was a cumbersome thing to put together.
oh God,
I
it's
hated
terrible.
that thing. Like, it was fine as an experience, but just the wires, I just setting it up, and then you had the box too.
Mhm.
It was just too much. I returned that thing, got my money's worth from it. I was like, I can't do this anymore. But if it's just one wire, that's not that bad. That's not
Right.
bad at all. Especially because you can't compare it to a Quest. You have to compare it to an Oculus Rift. You got to compare it to the HTC Vive. You got to compare it to those. And one wire is better than what both of those things offer. So I think both of those things have more wires than that, right? I'm pretty sure.
I'm not too sure, but I would
I'm
imagine
not too
so.
sure. That's a Ben question probably. But yeah, like that's one wire. That's not bad. As long as as long as that wire is pretty long, it don't matter to me.
Right.
Because the Quest is I feel like the Quest is like, in this comparison, like the Nintendo Switch. It's like it's next gen in a different way.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the Switch is
That's a
next
great
gen
comparison.
too. Like we never had a console you could take literally on the go. That's next gen. Like that's no doubt next gen. But it's not PS5 next gen. That's a
Mhm.
different type of next gen. I think this is going to be next gen in a different way, where you're going to get these
Exactly.
originally PC only VR games now coming to console. And
Yeah,
that in and of
exactly.
itself going to be an accomplishment. And just the haptic standpoint, I'm just thinking like my idea is just like if you have the controllers, you pick up a gun, they're gonna try to make it feel like a gun. They're gonna try to
Right.
make it feel like
And
you're
they can
holding a
do
gun.
that.
If somebody like touches your face, they're gonna try to make it feel like somebody's touching your face.
You know what I think is a good way to say it is this is the VR headset for gamers, for people like us. The Oculus Quest, it's going to move. It's eventually going to capture mainstream. PlayStation VR will not capture mainstream.
It's not meant
It's
to.
just
Yeah,
not going to be. It's not meant
Right.
to. The Oculus Quest, whether it's this iteration, the next iteration, it's not going to be this one. Eventually, it's going to be one of those things where it's like every house, every person has one. It's going to be a smartphone. It's going to be a
Gonna be that Wii.
Yeah, it will eventually get to the point where VR is so compelling, everyone will have to have one, and it won't be PlayStation. It will be Oculus. It'll be Facebook or Microsoft, I think, or maybe Google or Amazon or Apple. But someone's gonna make it to where it's so accessible where everyone's gonna have it to interact with their friends and family.
That was my best bet. If I were to guess any because I think that Apple could logistically, like, I think they could logistically do it the best. Because
With
when
video
Apple-
games, though, do you think they would do a good job?
I think it's gonna be Facebook still.
I think they could. Because my thing is, you're not asking them to develop video games. They just have to publish them. Like that's all you're at. That's all they really need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like Microsoft, like you could probably say the same thing about Microsoft when it came to video games back in 2000. Like Microsoft video games, what? You know what I'm saying? It's
True,
they had no track record, but they published Halo. They published all these games, and now they're the Xbox we know today. I have no doubt that Apple could do that. Now, they would. I mean, Apple's if they're not the biggest company in the world, they're in the top 5. You know, so they don't need to do it for sure. Like they, I mean, iPhones are they're the highest selling item every single year they come out. So they don't need to do it, but they could do it. And I think they could do the absolute best job because the one thing I will say about Apple products, they're locked down. They are stingy to, try to mod, but they usually do have a certain quality level that other products just don't have.
The user experience is top notch.
Right. Like I have an Apple iPhone. iPad, iPhone, they all work together seamlessly. There's no issues. Like there's issues in terms of like other applications that are outside of Apple. I mean, shit, Discord, we already know how that be. But I mean, if I'm working on music, you know what I'm saying? I can immediately just send that file to my phone without even using Wi-Fi. Just airdrop it using Bluetooth.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
speaking of companies that are late to the game, Microsoft, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a Microsoft iteration in the future, especially with their footprint already in the gaming space. They have the money for it. They can clearly do it. And I think when we start to see, that mainstream adoption that, PlayStation and Facebook are kind of laying the groundwork for, then Microsoft might, start to put their foot in the door and, put hey, Microsoft has one too.
Think that's 6-7 years down the line at best.
Oh yeah, it's nowhere close, but I think it's gonna happen.
I'll say I don't, and that's at best. I don't think it's ever gonna happen. For this standpoint, I do question. Now look, I love VR as a concept. I question whether it will ever be in the zeitgeist. I do question that.
But here's the thing, it has to be. It's so compelling, and it may not be for 10 years, but one day it will. The fact that you can put some on, it can transport you somewhere else to be with people that you don't usually see. We are at the
we're in the beginning stages.
Now, I don't know, and I don't know.
Here's what I think. I agree with you. I agree with you kind of, but at the same time, like, it's also like, we watch like an old science fiction movie. Like you'll see stuff, like some stuff that's like, oh, like, that would be cool. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like it doesn't end up happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think we have the technology to make like holograms. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not happening. I am still debating whether I think VR is one of those things. I think VR is the coolest thing as far as like the future of video games, future of like media in general. I just don't know if it's profitable in the same way.
Oh, I think
these companies,
it has to be.
These companies are all about the money.
Dude, so Facebook just this will be the last thing I say about it because I know kind of going on this topic, but so Facebook just allowed ads in all their apps. So if you think of like when me and you were in alt space, you go to alt space, you hang out in the club, you have Coca-Cola stuff hanging on the walls, you have advertisements, a video playing an ad, like they can make money on it. There ain't no doubt about that. There's a huge opportunity in VR for money. But
from an ad standpoint, not disagreeing there. I'm saying in terms of actual people buying these things and them making a profit off of that. Because like when you think of like an iPhone like it doesn't like they don't sell that at a loss anymore. Like they started off selling it at a loss, and now that thing is it's the best commodity in the world for them. I think it's the highest selling product every single year. Like, and it's like that's the result of the market saying we want smartphones. Smartphones are the future. The market as of right now has not said that. Now that it might take the right product. It might, because I mean, there were smartphones before the iPhone. Like there was, the Blackberries, there was the Palm Trios. They sold, but they weren't the same. It wasn't the same thing. It took the right product at the right time.
Right.
I think the VR needs that product. And I don't know if it's going to be an Oculus Quest 3 or if it's going to be a PlayStation VR 2, but I wouldn't bet money on that right now.
I would because it's gonna be the difference being with, I guess, for VR, the difference is not only the product, which we're gonna get there because they're gonna implement the haptics, they're gonna implement everything little increment by increment, feature by feature, to the point where they're gonna start doing bodysuits, like with gloves are next, and like connections like the vest will be next. They're trying to the Ready Player One kind of level, and when that happens, those things are going to fly off the shelf. But that's only one component of it. The second component of this is actually the software, which is the games for us. So like we need eventually that app that everybody's going to be playing, you know, that you need this you know, that special software, that special the special vest, like all of the different things that they can sell on top of it to
Yep.
play this one game that is so special that everybody needs to play, because it's going to give you a second life, and it will literally transport
Yep.
you to this amazing world that you cannot experience
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yep.
You
With
know what?
with iPhones, it's a little different because, you know, it's all about user interface, and that's all they need. And it can
Right. I
connect to
think
your other, you know,
right. I
iPads
would
and
argue
whatnot.
the iPhone took off software too, because the iPhone 1 was a success. It wasn't the biggest hit in the world. iPhone 3G comes out with the App Store, and that's a wrap. That's the
Yeah.
literal wrap
Mhm.
of the iPhone. Like literally after that, it just took off, and nothing ever came close.
And I would say by the
Mm.
time the iPhone 4 came out, pretty much everyone had one.
Yeah, but it started with that
Or had
App
a
Store.
smartphone.
Like once you got the App Store and you had all these other apps on there, the software, because software drives it all. So I agree with you on that. Like the product and the software matter. Like it's a tandem of both of those things.
Yeah.
With
What's
this,
gonna
I
happen?
think you need these. You need the Activisions. You need the EAs. You need them to invest. Those are the ones who you like, and they're not right now. That's where I'm like, kind of like, why not? Like, well, why aren't you? Do they see something that I don't see? Because as far as I see, this is the
The
most impressive
product
thing.
isn't there yet, you know? Just like they want
User
things
base.
so that they can build better. Like the hardware itself is limiting to them to the point where like they're not even going to bother, you know,
Like, there's no
making
Call of
a
Duty on here. You know what I'm
mobile-ish
saying? Like,
experience, you know?
like,
Mhm.
there's no big time franchise. Like, I can't think of one big time franchise that's a VR.
The reason
you know what I'm
why
saying?
the reason why is because there's no base. Why waste their money and resources for 2 or 3 million units when they can put something on PS5, PS4, Xbox One, that when
Yep.
the people are there, they will make games for it. But
Oh,
we
yeah, for
got to
sure.
get the people there. And here's what's going to happen. This is what I think. I think Facebook's the right company to do it, and this is why. Because I think the social aspects of VR is the most compelling. And you know, I feel like all y'all would probably agree. Like being with someone else and hanging out in VR and talking to them is incredible.
Mhm.
And to me, it's more compelling than gaming. And I'm a daggum gamer at heart. So
It really is. Yeah.
yeah. So
Amazing.
so I think what's going to happen is, imagine in a world. Me and Thomas kind of talked about this when we were thinking alt space. But imagine where like instead of getting on your phone and checking Facebook, you pop on your headset and you see like, hey, 12 of my friends are in this room. So you put on your headset and you just go over there and you're hanging out with them, like 12 people. Or like, hey, my uncle, my dad, and you know, Aunt so-and-so's over here in this room. Let me pop in here. Oh, let's go shoot some pool with them for all right, y'all. I'm peacing out. I'm going to hang out with my friends. We're going to play a video game in blank whatever room, drop a portal, and everybody's sitting around playing Smash. So like we get off the podcast, we all hop in VR together. We got a pancake size screen and we're playing couch co-op together.
Yeah.
When it gets to be at some point, and Facebook already has that social integration, and Facebook understands this. That's why they haven't implemented it good yet. But Zuckerberg and them have said like they're all in on VR. Like that's where they want to push the biggest social network on the planet to VR. And if they figure out how to do it, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
I got the killer app for you. It's not Zuckerberg, it's not Facebook, but I have a killer
PlayStation
app.
Home.
Yep,
What is it?
that's it.
PlayStation Home.
If you brought back PlayStation Home and did it right, I think that could be a potential killer app. I think that's what VR is missing, because it's in a quandary right now where you need, like you said, Activision, EA, they're looking at the numbers like not enough people for us to justify putting a Call of Duty on here. Like just not enough people. But you need a software to get people to buy it. So it's like in this little quandary where they need a killer app, but the people who make the killer apps are hesitant to put it on here. So you need one developer to just bite the bullet. Now, I think that some people thought it would be Half-Life Alyx, but Half-Life Alyx was just too inaccessible for most people to even be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Walking Dead Saints and Sinners was pretty popular, but I don't think
Stormland.
it was. The which?
Stormland. Did you ever hear about that one?
No, that's the
I have
problem.
not. Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the problem. It's not a Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell, put
Mhm.
Fortnite on. Put
All right,
Fortnite
so
in VR and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like
when you get a
that's
chance,
what it needs. It needs a recognizable. If it's not recognizable name, it needs just something that just impresses everybody. And it's hard to
it's made by
showcase VR already because you can't really show gameplay
Right.
of VR like that. So
Exactly.
it's hard to market. There's no killer apps, and that's really the core of why it's not doing as well as it could. It's once it gets that killer app, all bets are off. But until it gets that, I'm always going to be a little skeptical.
so Stormland is developed by Insomniac, AAA.
Yeah,
It was one of the first
didn't notice.
AAA VR games. That and Half-Life Alyx are really the two big AAA VR games.
the issue is you can't play them on Quest, either one of them.
Yeah, unless you have a link cable.
Yeah,
Right,
and
which
a
is
high-power
not
PC.
really a Quest. It's not really a Quest 2 anymore at that point.
Right.
So it's like you need, because I feel like if you put Half-Life Alyx and Shoreline, I think Shoreline is going to definitely probably come to PlayStation VR too. I can assume that's probably going to be their day one. Since Insomniac is their studio, I would assume that that's there.
Well, it was an exclusive deal with Oculus, so I'm not sure.
Got it. Well,
Yeah.
they definitely can develop something new.
Yeah, they've shown they can do it. So I think that you're going to have to get a name brand developer develop something that appeals to people who are skeptical of VR right now. Because that's the only people that are holding us back. The people who are skeptical about VR. And I will say COVID kind of did a number on that, because I remember when I forgot who it was. I think HTC. They were literally at malls and they were like had little booths and you can try VR. That's the first time I tried VR and I was like, oh shit. I was like, this
same
is
for me.
incredible. This is incredible. I'm in the ocean right now. This is incredible.
Yep, same for me.
You know,
It was the PSVR. I went to Best Buy to try it, and after that, I was hooked. I said, "I'm buying it day one."
Dude,
yeah, you're a
I
believer as
almost
soon
got
as
a
you try,
job.
but it's hard to. Really?
I
you
almost want to
told me.
walk up to them and say, I want to work for you guys and I want to sell this thing. I almost did that because I loved it.
Oh man.
Crazy.
So it's an interesting conversation, and we're probably going to continue this conversation going forward because VR is an ever evolving thing. But as always, this is the Dukes of Gaming podcast. You can catch us on all podcast services you can think of. You think of it, just type in Dukes of Gaming. We're on there. Find us on YouTube. We're separating our clips out so you don't have to consume the whole video. If you want to just see parts of this, we'll timestamp it in the whole video. We'll also release them individually. Look out for that. Look out for Ben's book club. Watch that. And we appreciate any views we get. Leave a like, leave a comment, hit the bell as well for notifications. And thank you. I bid thee farewell.